Hi, it's Rob Sakalas. I am really glad that you are here. This series is a masterclass that'll help you escape becoming average after you graduate from college. But first of all, congratulations. You pulled it off. Roughly 52% of people that go to college graduate, and you succeeded. People only give you credit when you finish, and you made it through the tests, through the homework, through the tequila shots at the bar, through all the fun that you've had, all those football games and basketball games. You are now on the other side. You are a college graduate, and you're in great position to succeed. But it's time to make a big decision. What will you become? And how committed are you to your decision? What do you really, really want? These things matter. Home run success is possible. There are plenty of recipes to succeed. You have to follow them, however, if you want to get there. You can only hit what you aim at. You must have a clear target of what success means to you. There's a subtle trap that's out there. All of us fall into it when we're below 30. We think the world is waiting for us to set it on fire. I thought that myself. No, the world's not waiting for you. You've got to go out there and get it. There is a reality. Most people are destined to become average. It's just the way the world works because supply and demand has an iron grip on everybody. If you just deliver average value, you're going to get average pay. If you don't differentiate yourself, nobody's going to notice you. These things matter a lot. So there is no time to waste. The real world is a different game, and you have to play the game according to its rules. You've got to understand the odds. How you play the game absolutely changes the odds of a game. If I asked you a question, what are the best odds in a casino, you would probably answer it correctly. You would say blackjack. The odds of success in blackjack for the player are roughly 42%. And people immediately say, oh, I have a 42% chance of winning. This is only true if you play the game the right way. Let me give you an example. I was sitting in a casino in Monte Carlo, and I was watching the other 5 players that I was playing with, and they were hitting on the wrong cards. The dealer might be showing a 6. They have 13 or 14 in their hand, and they're taking a hit. It's the wrong way to play the game. It changes the odds in the favor of the casino. You've got to play the game the absolutely right way if you're going to get a 42% chance of winning. The same thing is true in life. There is great news, however. In the Western world, in America and in Europe, opportunity is great for success. You've already been lucky. If you're listening to this video, chances are you're either in America or Canada or in Europe. But out of the 8.1 billion people in the world, only 4% of them are in North America. Another 9% are in Europe. So in total, the Western world has roughly 13% of the people. But these 13% have the best chance of success. There is great news. We live in an age of meritocracy. Just 50 or 60 years ago, it was a lot harder. You had to be born into the right family. But today, it is more open and more likely than it's ever been in history. As Barack Obama put it, while the future is unknowable, the winds are always blowing in the direction of human progress. A great example is Sarah Blakely. If you've never heard of Sarah, her story is incredible. She graduated from Florida State, and she was a tri-delt. She typical kind of undergrad life. She took the test, the LSAT test, to try to get into law school, and it was a setback. She didn't score very well. She didn't get into law school. She got out. She got a job. She was selling fax machines to small businesses. The job wasn't great. By 27, she was tired of it. She had saved up $5,000. She worked in secret on her idea for about a year. And then with a lot of hustle, she started calling on department store buyers and other influencers. And by 41, Sarah became the fastest female billionaire ever minted in America. What an incredible story. There's lots of stories of people with humble beginnings that have had stellar accomplishments. One of these is best-selling author of the Harry Potter series, J.K. Rowling. She did not have a great childhood growing up. When she went to college, she majored in French, not exactly the world's greatest employment opportunity there. Her mom died when she was only 25. She was a single mom. She was struggling after a divorce. She bounced between a lot of temp jobs. And then one day she got stuck on a train platform. The train was late and the Harry Potter series was born. Another great story is John Paul DeJoria. He was born to poor immigrant parents. He wound up being sent to foster care for most of his life. He did a 2-year stint in the Navy. When he got out of the Navy, he became a janitor. He was an encyclopedia salesman. He was an insurance salesman. He got fired from his first job in hair care products. But then with just $700 while he was living in his car, he founded John Paul Mitchell Systems and was an amazing success. He now is a billionaire as well. There's other stories like Oprah Winfrey. She was born to a single teenage parent in rural Mississippi. She herself got pregnant when she was only 14 years old. Luckily, she got a job in radio while she was still in high school. She pursued that path in communications, and she is now the richest self-made African-American female the world has ever seen. And she could actually become the president of the United States if she ever decided to run. A question worth asking is, why not you? It absolutely can be you if you make the right moves. A person that asked that question was Russell Wilson. He was undersized. He got drafted into the NFL, but he was drafted number 75 to the Seattle Seahawks. He believed in himself. And after years in what could be considered a career that would have put him in the Hall of Fame, he then got traded to the Denver Broncos. He signed a $300 million contract. It absolutely can be if you believe in yourself like Russell believes in himself. If I could do it, you can do it too. You can become top 10%. I have no doubt in my mind. It is not mission impossible, and top 10% is a great neighborhood to be in. My story is pretty simple. I graduated from college. I applied for over 30 jobs. I landed 5 offers. I took my lowest paying offer because I wanted to work for a specific manager. I started out with a 2-seater car, 3 suits, 6 white shirts, a couple of ties. I slept on a sleeper couch. I didn't even have a bed. My net worth was measured in hundreds, not thousands of dollars. Just 20 years later, I wound up selling over $450 million worth of revenue for the companies that I worked for. I jumped out of traditional employment. I started my own software company. I got married. I had 2 great kids, wrote 3 books. It was an amazing story. It was an American dream story. Over 30 years, I beat the S&P 500 in investment results 8 out of 10 years. Like I said, if I can do it, you can do it too. How you launch matters a lot. This is kind of like golf. If you hit a ball too high, it doesn't go very far. If you hit it too low, it definitely doesn't go far. You've got to launch at the right angle to set yourself up for a great next shot, for the domino effect that a career becomes. People ask me this question: why not target becoming top 1%? And the answer is it's a journey. No one jumps from average to top 1% unless they win the lottery. Everyone else takes the journey. You become top 25%, and then top 15%, and then top 10%. Finally, you're in the right spot to try to make it to the top 7, top 5, top 1%. But you've got to take all those steps to climb that mountain. As Steve Jobs put it, most overnight successes take a really long time. That is just the way the world really is. And so there is magic, and that magic is in the habits that you establish for yourself. You will not make it without great habits, and that is actually the content that most of this series is going to talk about. What are the habits that you have to adopt to achieve this great success? As Michael Jordan put it, you've got to have escaping average as a goal. He put it this way: all I knew is that I never wanted to be average. Thanks for joining me on this series. I'm going to be issuing an episode about once a week. Episode 2 is coming next week. I hope you join. Thanks.